Hello and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year's Eve. I thought I would share with you my most used bags for 2023. Some were presents this year, some I've had for a year or two, and I just wanted to share with you my most used bags. We're going to start with evening and work our way to day-to-day bags. So first up, this is Monty. He has been featured on my channel before. He is this very beautiful Kate Spade bag. He is acrylic covered in black Swarovski. He has been my most used evening bag. I think he's been taken out about half a dozen times this year. I don't go out that much, to be honest with you, but he has been my go-to bag. He opens up down the middle here, and he has a crossbody strap on the inside. He is very beautiful. He has pride of place in my collection. I repaired all the Swarovski because when he arrived last year, he was missing a lot of his stones. Wanted him for a long, long time. Love him. He's still very much a firm favourite. Next up, we have my Louis Vuitton Speedy 25. This is a purchase from 2021. It's a vintage bag from Japan. It was made in Florida in 1992. Again, something I wanted for a long time before I finally found one that was in my budget, that was in reasonably good condition. This has been one of my day-to-days. I've used this when I've been away for the weekend as well. It has an insert, so normally it's got something to help it keep its structure. It lives in a dust bag. I love this piece. It is very much a treasured item in my collection. Perfect size, because unfortunately when I go away for the weekend I do need to carry a lot of bits and pieces, like asthma medication and stuff like that, but perfect size without the insert. I love this. Next up is the leather version of Monty. This I used a lot in the first half of the year. As you can see, it's similar to Monty, but it's a leather version. It's flat. Opens up, actually fits quite a lot. It has the same kind of strap that the Monty bag does. It's really beautiful. It has this lovely glitter finish. Fits a lot in it because I don't tend to carry a lot. I tend to have my phone, lip balm, keys, and I have a small card holder with flamingos on it because I gave up wearing big purses quite a while ago. But I love this. You're going to notice a trend of Kate Spade bags. But yep, I've used him quite a lot. He's quite a nice talking feature. People spot him, ask me lots of questions. And I love the fact that he is... all of my bags are quite quirky. And, you know, I love him. So, yeah. Next up is something I acquired back in February. This is Shock Horror, another Kate Spade bag. This is the Saffiano finish leather. This, I don't actually know what collection this is from. It might be In the Wild. But it's this really cool hot pink colour. It's almost like a hot coral, actually. And it's got these beautiful flamingos with the Swarovski eyes. I got this off eBay secondhand. I really love this. It turned up, it was a little bit grubby when it turned up. But I cleaned all the leather. With the good thing about this Kate Spade bag is the lining isn't fixed inside. So what I mean is it isn't like stitched into the base. So you can actually pull the lining out. And I managed to wash the lining, get the makeup stains out. And I have used this bag a heck of a lot. I've seen this bag in various like finishes and styles because they do like a penguin one where the bag is the body of the penguin, and I don't know what it is, but I don't love it. But this, love how simple this is. I've seen this in another colourway in a different like style, and the background is like a aqua turquoisey colour, and I don't know what it is. Considering I'm somebody who doesn't wear and own a lot of pink, this is very pink. I don't know whether I was influenced by the Barbiecore thing going on around, but I really have enjoyed using this bag this year. And I also love it whenever I do wear it out. It gets a lot of compliments. The only grumble I have is the strap doesn't come off. It's fixed, so I struggle to store the strap. But it's a really nice bag. It can be a shoulder bag or it can be made longer and be worn crossbody. Love it. It was worth every penny. Cost per wear is pennies because I've worn it so much. I really do adore that. Next up is this beauty here. Now, I thought long and hard about this bag. and what it is about it that I love. So a friend of mine gave me this for my birthday. Somebody else showed me the larger version of it, and I was like, that's such a cool bag, but I don't love the style. And I realised a couple of weeks ago what it is about this bag that I truly love. It has the same shape as a Celine Nano luggage, or Luggage Nano, which I loved for years, but I'd never pay that amount of money for a bag. No judgment to anybody who does. I just don't have that kind of a budget, but I fell in love with this. I'm very lucky my friend got it for me. It's this really beautiful bag. It's a little tote. For most people, this would probably be way too small, but for me, this is perfect. It fits my phone. I've got a 250 milliliter rubber Penguin water bottle that fits in this. It fits my phone. I know I've already said that. My card holder, my keys, everything. And what's really nice, because I'm somebody who's got quite small hands, so I struggle sometimes. Literally, I've got a very beautiful vintage bag that's leather and it has a solid brass handle. And when I've been carrying it, it has bruised my hands. So what I love about this bag is my hands are not getting lost when I'm carrying it. So I can carry it, and it's also got a fabulous crossbody strap on the inside. It's got a zipped pocket. And unusually, actually, this has silver hardware as well, which I adore. And I'm not normally a big logo person, but I love that. It's so simple. It's so cool. And just, I love it. And the thing is, I'm not going to lie. Back in 2021, I actually got rid of a lot of the black bags that I had in my collection because I realised I'm not really a black handbag kind of person anymore. I have a couple of them. I have this one. I have a couple of my Sophia Webster ones. And I've got a smaller Kate Spade one that's in a similar shape to a Louis Vuitton Alma BB. But overall, most of my black bags are either brightly coloured or the vintage tan. I only have a handful of black leather handbags. And usually there's got to be something about them. I do admit, so I've got my Sophia Webster Claudia in the large and the small. I've got this. I've got a black smooth leather tote from Kate Spade that has a giant sparkly penguin on it. And I've got the smaller Kate Spade. And then I've got a couple of smaller two clutch pieces and two Laura DiMaggio camera bags that are styled after the Gucci Soho Disco. But that's it. I mean, I used to have dozens of black bags, but I realised I don't really. It's got to have something about it, and all of the bags that I have something about them. It's the shape, and I love this big logo. The tote is because it's got a sparkly penguin. The little tiny one that looks like the Louis Vuitton shape is because I love the shape. The two Laura DiMaggio ones are down to the fact that I love I did a video on it previously. I love the Soho Disco, but I hate the fact that the big tassel is a zip, and I'm really clumsy. I would break something like that. And what's really cool about the Laura DiMaggios is you can change the straps over on them, and I like to make things multi-purpose. Oh, and I also have a Birkin-style mini bag as well. That's the one thing I must admit, after 2018, I really scaled back having massive handbags. This Speedy here is one of the biggest bags I wear day to day these days. But yeah, I've worn this thing absolutely loads. I get loads of compliments on it, and people are always like, where did you get that? I think my friend found it on Amazon, but I love it. It fits so much stuff in it. It's a great shape. And I love the fact that it's not something you see very often. So this is the Kate Spade Ella tote in the mini. And the friend who suggested it originally, she found it in Florida. So this is actually an American design. And I just love how different it is. I love that it could just be really simple. It can be the piece. I know I've talked about it a lot, but I'm not really a logo-y person. The Speedy is literally the most logo-heavy thing I own. I grew up in the 2000s, so logo mania is not really my thing. And the thing is, I love a lot of bags, but I don't like how heavy logo heavy everything is at the moment. And I must admit, and this isn't a criticism, I think it's the content I consume, is I'm kind of fed up. Everything I see is a Birkin or a Chanel. And I get it, it's a very small slither of the internet that I just happen to be in. But, because I used to watch a heck of a lot of content of other people and what they buy, I have scaled back a lot of what I watch. And, I'm more mindful. And I'm grateful to the people who, they do it because they have a genuine interest in fashion. People like Cassie Thorpe, she has a genuine passion for what she does. And she's basically like the living embodiment of Vogue. She's like Vogue in real time. And I love that about her. But what I love is that she wears what she likes. It's not about trends. It's about what she would take from a trend, which I absolutely adore. I also watch a lot of, Caitlin, I can never pronounce her surname, Caitlin. But she has stepped away from the luxury space and she's just been more mindful in her shopping. And the thing is, I do a lot of shopping, I'm not going to deny. I like to shop, but I realise in the last few years I've been more mindful of what I've been buying. So I know I've already said it here a million times, but back in 2019, I overhauled my wardrobe. I overhauled big chunks of my life. And, after 2020, I no longer work in an office. In fact, this year I actually changed my job. I work from home permanently. So, I had this massive wardrobe full of all these fancy, beautiful clothes. Not expensive designer things, but, beautiful quality vintage pieces, etc. And now I've got nowhere to wear them. And the thing is, I've been slowly descaling. Not descaling, because it's not a kettle, but, downsizing what I have to quality pieces. And the thing is, I'm not somebody who's ever going to have a capsule wardrobe of, hey, I have this basic white t-shirt or this basic black t-shirt and I'm monochromatic. I like weird, wonderful, bright, crazy things, but I also like quirky things. One of my favourite jumpers is navy blue and has sequined penguins on it, and I wear it all year round. But, I have pieces that I love that I've owned for years. Like, a piece I haven't included here is I've got an old school satchel backpack that needed a repair, which I took to my cobbler, got it repaired. And you know what? It's like having a little bit of myself back because, I used to live and die in that satchel. And even now, wearing it just brings me so much joy. And it's a satchel I've had for over 11 years. I bought it secondhand for £50 from a vintage shop. And it's this beautiful chestnut leather, and I genuinely enjoy it. And what's been really nice about the house renovation and slowly being able to go through things and declutter is finding pieces that I truly love. And I'm like, oh, I haven't worn that in ages, because most of my stuff has been in storage since last summer when I moved house. But it's been nice to rediscover the pieces that I love, give them a fresh lease of life, and rehab them and make them better. And, I've got another collection. So you guys know I've got my collection of higher end bags, and I also have a small collection of vintage leather bags that are in tan leather. I've got about half a dozen of them that I genuinely adore, and when I'm not wearing one of these, I wear one of those. But those bags for the most part have been in storage for the last 18 months, so I haven't had a chance to see a lot of them. But anyway, I rambled on enough. Last but not least, Morty. Naughty Morty, as somebody has labelled their Instagram for this bag. So I did a video back in May about this beautiful bag. The friend who suggested that also suggested him last October. I absolutely fell in love with him. I mean, how can you not? He's gorgeous. And I couldn't forget about him, as I confirmed in my video. My husband bought him for me back at the end of January this year, February. We got him secondhand off eBay, but he was brand new with tags, and he is so gorgeous. I got him for my birthday in April. I was very spoiled for my birthday. And, oh my god, I've worn him so much. You'd think he's not terribly practical, but actually he is. He fits quite a lot in him. My only disappointment is, when you open him, there's like an extra flap, like a concertina flap here on the inside that stops your stuff falling out. But because of that, I can't fit a hot water bottle in him. But you can't tell, but that whole space in the bottom there is open and you can use. But he is made of the most beautiful leather. I actually took him to see some penguins for my birthday. My birthday had to be rearranged due to house stuff. And somebody was chatting and they were like, "Oh, I like your water bottle," and I laughed and I was like, "It's not my water bottle. This is actually my bag," because went to see the penguins wearing a penguin, and I love him. Again, he's got silver hardware. He's got his cute little ear muffs, and he's wearing a little check scarf. And he's such a fun piece. And that's one thing I really like about Kate Spade bags, is not only are they made of exceptionally beautiful leather, they just have so much character, and they really do stand the test of time. I mean, I've seen some Kate Spade pieces. So with the pink bag I showed you earlier, I saw somebody had the taupe version, and they wanted ridiculous money for it, even though they'd managed to scrape the Saffiano finish off down to the bare leather, and that's not something you can easily repair. And I'm just like, I'm not somebody who massively babies my bags, I just general maintenance and care, but the way some people just throw things around, and they wear them to the point that they fall apart, and that's something that breaks my heart, because as somebody who likes to be a bit more conscious of the things that I buy and how I wear things and use them, it frustrates me when people wear things into the ground, and there's no need, because, if you've worn something down, take your shoes to the gobbler, get your bag fixed, multiple things. And things can last you literally a lifetime, and that's something, I mean, I recently bought a really beautiful tan, deep, almost not chestnut, but a really deep nutmeg brown coloured suede jacket. It's probably from the 80s or the 90s. Bought it off Vinted, really lovely. It's been sat in someone's conservatory, and one of the arms has sun bleaching. So I took it to my cobbler and I said, I don't expect it to be a perfect match, but is there anything we can do with the colour to match the fading throughout the rest of the jacket? And it also had a stain that I didn't feel comfortable tackling. So took it to him. He very kindly sorted out the stain, and then managed to, using Reviver, even out the fading. And my jacket looks beautiful. And that's the thing. Things don't have to cost the earth. It's if you're willing to make the time and effort. Because, I mean, I was having this conversation with somebody online the other day, how they were like, oh, leather's really bad, da-da-da. And, I appreciate the impact things like leather have on the environment and things like that. Most of these bags, bar the Kate Spade there, are all secondhand. And, I'm a big believer in buying secondhand stuff. And, I take the time to find things secondhand because, I don't want to negatively impact on the environment. And if something already exists, I'd rather buy that. If it's a bit broken, get it fixed. Anyway, I mean, a perfect example, I was really lucky earlier this year, about 2 months ago, I managed to find a beautiful pair of Ted Baker leather trousers that are cigarette length, off Vinted. They were 60 quid, which is, it's still a lot of money, and I absolutely adore them. They're gorgeous. The lady who had bought them had long legs and was disappointed, so she ended up taking the hem down on the trousers, and I was a bit like, oh god. So when they arrived, I sat there with my finest needle and cotton, and I hand-stitched the hem back into place, because, the holes were already there. And, I cleaned them the same way I would clean any bag. Saddle soap, I treated the leather. And you know what? I've already worn those, nearly half a dozen times. And I've been looking for the perfect pair of leather trousers for 10 years. And it was just really because and the thing is, this must have been the fourth pair I had, because I bought 2 pairs previously and I'd returned them. I had a pair from Zara. No, they were Mango, sorry, and they never quite, they were secondhand off of Depop, and they never quite fit the way I wanted them to. And by the time I realised that I'd given up on them, I couldn't return them, so I donated them to charity, because I bought them secondhand anyway. And then I finally, I was like, it's something that would be a staple in my wardrobe, because I've got secondhand faux leather trousers that are a mixture of faux leather and fabric that I wear quite a lot anyway. And I was like, I know it's something I would wear a lot, so I want to invest, but I want it to be something I really love. And the problem with leather trousers is they tend to go one of two ways. Either they're cut really weirdly, like leggings, or they're cut like motorbike trousers. and I wanted a happy medium between the two. So I found these beautiful trousers online, and they're actually cut like skinny jeans, and they're the perfect length because I've got short legs. And I went back and forth with about half a dozen people, and she came back and she was like, "Oh, da da da, I've got long legs, so I've taken the hem down, da 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 da." And I was like, you know what, do it. And quite happy with what I paid for it. The 60 quid includes the postage. And you know what? I still love those trousers. I think they were worth every penny. They were worth the investment. And things like this, I love him. He isn't something that... And the same with, like... I obsessed over these two handbags for years before I ever bought them. And this is the thing I think people forget. Like, I know I have a lot of bags. I'm not gonna lie. I really do. Trust me, I've got like 30 plus kind of lined up underneath my bed. But the majority of them are secondhand. I've owned them for years. And, you know, sometimes people think, oh, well, you're just buying for the sake of it. And I'm like, no. Things like this, I have thought about for literal years before I buy them. And I obsess over them. Same with, like, this little leather guy as well. And I mean, I'm really lucky with this one. This one, a friend just randomly spotted on eBay. She's what we affectionately call my handbag friend. Her name's Emma. She's the fabulous flamingo. She's really lovely. And yeah, I'm going to do another video on that because I think it's an important topic. But thank you very kindly for sharing. Happy 2024. Have a great 2024. And I will see you soon.